plan to get Dave back on the road.
Nice. I wonder what Dave's doing.
You do your thing. We've got you covered.
Hey, is the power off on this?
I don't know. Just take it off.
Safety violation, unsafe work conditions.
In the construction trades unions, safety is our highest priority, and we train you to recognize and speak out on unsafe working conditions so that everyone arrives and goes home safely. Learn about careers in construction at georgiaconstructioncareers.com.
What you doing?
Hey, just finishing this plan to get Dave back on the road.
Nice. I wonder what Dave's doing.
You do your thing. We've got you covered.
Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Keeping It Real with Najeh Wilkins. Happy Friday Eve, guys. Glad to be back, presented by GeorgiaConstructionCareers.com. Man, we got a lot to talk about today. We are going to break down just the 7A matchup. I'm going to let Craig tomorrow put his bow and ribbon on just all the football. I know he's been doing it for years, so I'm not going to go too much into that. I'm just going to talk about the 7A matchup, a little bit about recruiting, some basketball, and some players from in-state and out-of-state as well. But yeah, man, what an incredible game. As I said, I thought it was going to be a thriller. We definitely got that and more. It nearly set the stage for what I almost predicted. It didn't come true. Obviously, you can't get them all right. But Jeremy Hecklinski, with 55 seconds to go, with the opportunity to host the first ever state championship and undefeated season for the Walton Raiders, just came short. Milton gets the pick six, but I just thought overall, man, what a great year for them. I talked to their head coach numerous times throughout the season, Coach Reeves, and just what they were building. And I think the conversation that me and Craig had was really interesting because we wanted to see, could the offense get going, right? Up until the point when they played Roswell and they finally got over that 30-point threshold for the season, they had lost a very close game to Western out of Davie, Florida, right? It's 14-10, raining game, muddy, a tough game, but I think that out-of-state schedule really kind of helped them, and just playing those tough teams early on, playing Collins Hill and things like that. And Collins Hill was not no slouch team, right? They were able to beat North Cobb in the playoffs 45-14. So all of that, I think, prepared them, and they just hit a new gear, right? You got C.J. Wiley as your one, DeBron Gatlin as your two, Tristan Payne and Mark Esley, guys you can use. And Esley, early on in that game last night, you were able to see him kind of use his return ability, right? He was able to, gash him, open up, obviously big holes. Good field position for Milton in that game as well. But I thought Walton, they're a phenomenal team. It's unfortunate, a really close-knit group. I thought they did well early, getting the turnover, right? Getting the fumble, forcing the fumble on C.J. Wiley, and then going back down and scoring with a 100-tail touchdown catch. I thought he was phenomenal in the game as well. I just think they just looked out of sync, right? Not what we're accustomed to seeing. And you got to credit a lot of that to the coaching. And you got to credit a lot of that to the defensive line. It's one of those proponents I kind of just said, that's going to be key for Milton in this game, right? Can their defensive line make a difference? And we've seen a pretty good cohesive unit for Walton all year long. But they were getting pressure. They were getting pressure on Jeremy. And they were able to flush him out the pocket. They were able to get him on the roll, get him uncomfortable in the game. And it's not a game you see from Jeremy very, very often, right? He's a very elite quarterback. He's finally getting national attention, which we'll talk about in the top 10 headlines a little bit later in the show. But I thought their ability to be able to rush with Caleb Bell, obviously Pancake Hunter, and just the plethora of guys they have, A.J. Benton coming down as well. Just being able to have that on your team definitely makes a difference. I think we've seen that all night long. And, I think Walton struggled a little bit with that. Their best game was running the ball. And I think something you didn't really see a lot. They ran the ball this year a lot with Austin Williams and obviously Makari Bodiford, both 1,000-yard rushers, but they were predominantly running the ball in the first half. You've seen, I think they had 18 runs to 9 passes. Usually this Walton teams, they're trying to pass. They're almost a 2-3 strike play team and can make you pay. But I thought that was a standout as well. And I thought it was one of Jeremy's probably worst games of his career, if you had to say. And you don't say that very often. Struggled a little bit against Camden County, but got it going. But it's a tough game overall, man. And I think Milton, the most exciting thing about them going forward, and they're actually number one. We actually had a poll just came out, after season poll that was put together by Craig and Seth, obviously. Go check on scoretl.com. But Craig has Milton as his number one. His number two is Walton. Number 3 was Grayson. Number 4 was Colquitt. Number 5 was Mill Creek. Is that right, Craig? Yes. Yep. So I think what was interesting about that is Milton is going to be the presumptive favorite going forward, especially in 5A classification. Like, it's going to change next year. It's not going to be 7A anymore. It's going to be 6A, and then 5A. So Milton's going to be in 5A. And the crazy thing about Milton is they're going to return a vast majority of their talent, right? You're going to have C.J. Wiley coming back. He's a junior, 2025 class, a rising senior. You're going to have Luke Nickel back. Ryan G is going to be back. That really good linebacking core. You're going to lose your Corey Stewart and Jack Lawson, but you're going to have back Hayden Tumania, who had one of the biggest hits you will see on a quarterback, probably in the state championship we've seen in a long time. He's coming back. A.J. Benton's coming back. And then the crazy thing about Milton is they're going to retool and reload. Everybody's going to be like, oh, well, who's going to come into the school, who might transfer in. But the crazy part is Milton's going to have the guys in the 27s. And the 27s are going to be sophomores next year. And they already got championship playing experience, right? DJ Ruff got a little bit of playing time this year. Pancake Hunter was a starter this year and an All-American player, according to, I think, top 100 USA. So you got all that coming back, all this emerging talent. I mean, that's going to be special for them going forward. And then going to 5A, you can't tell me next year they're not a favorite. So I definitely think they're going to be very, very special. And I think you got to get some love, man, to Coach Reeves, man. I know he does a good job, I think, guys, that's underrated is motivating his players, finding little tidbits, and motivating the group to get it going. And I'm not going to lie, I talked to Alex a little bit about it, Alex Benson from Born to Compete, and we had a little conversation, but I was just like, man, they on you. Because if you go look at Milton's stuff, they always had him in it at the beginning, like him choosing the other team. So I think he did a good job of motivating his team. A lot of people didn't have him coming in and winning, but as I said, I didn't either, and I'll be honest about that. I had Walton winning this game, but I told Craig from the start, I said, how cool of a championship game would it be with Walton and Milton? And I think Milton showed that, and I was high on them all year. Nobody talked about them. I was probably one of the lone few that did, and I'm happy for them that they won. I mean, obviously it's a gut-wrenching loss for Walton, but I'm happy they won and able to, play at a high level. And Coach Ben Reese does a good job of just motivating this group, man. And he got something special brewing. Like Craig said, had to fill some real big shoes, right? With Adam Clark coming in, delivering the first ever state championship. But then you come in your second year, Craig. Like, we got to talk about the job that he's done. And he might potentially actually, guys, be on the show tomorrow for Craig. So stay tuned for that. I know he's trying to lock him in. But just the job of coming in your first year, unfortunate, you kind of get screwed over, right, to a degree, because you have to go play, was it at McEachern High School? At McEachern High School, when you were the higher seed against Mill Creek, and you have to play there instead of playing at home in Milton, right? And then this year you had to go on the road and play against a really, really good, elite, I think, blue blood program in Grayson, and you were able to go in there and get a win. So just the job he's done in 2 years, guys, we got to give him his credit where credit is due. That is not easy to do. And what's so good about him is that he don't give the credit to just himself. He gives it to his coaching staff. He gives it to his booster club, his players, right? He just throws around. It wouldn't be able to kind of happen without them. So that's what I love about him, man. He's probably one of the best coaches in the state. Just the way he presents himself, how he is as a person and as a man. I mean, that's somebody you want leading your group, your organization, your program, man. And they're going to be good to go for years to come. They're going to have, like I said, a lot of the returning starters. So I just wanted to give some love to Coach Reeves today for an outstanding job, a job well done, getting the Milton Eagles to the state championship and winning it in just his second year. And then for Walton, just gut-wrenching. I thought the keys was what made them so good this year is that they were able to get the ball to Hunter Till and Cam Lloyd. And that struggled a little bit for Milton. I mean, not Milton, Walton in this one, right? Usually you got Hunter Till, your short, intermediate routes over across to the middle. After that first touchdown catch, probably had 2 catches the rest of the game. Going into the fourth quarter, I'm going to call him a star because I think he's a star. Their star receiver, Cam Lloyd, had 1 catch for 6 yards up until that touchdown play. where he's used to having the big plays. And I think, that was kind of missing from the offense. Like, their offense wasn't predicated on big plays, but that definitely helped them out a lot. And I think they weren't able to get that. They weren't able to get their guys going how they usually do. The Cam Lloyds, the Jordan Van Bryes, the Wyatt Sondermans down the field. They got that when they beat Camden County. They got that when they beat Carrollton. They were getting big splash plays. And I think Milton did a good job with that secondary. As I told you guys, go back and check the tape. Said their secondary is very, very good. And we seen it. Couple picks, pick 6. Tyler Redmond plastering coverage against Wyatt Sonderman in some points of the game. That's what made the difference, man. So shout out to that game. I thought it was one of the best ones. If I had to rank the games really quickly, I would definitely put Pierce County Rockmart. Oh my gosh, that was such a thriller. 3 overtime game. Shout out to Cade Magatha. 53 carries. Craig will talk about that tomorrow on the show. But that was number 1 for me, that 3 overtime thriller. One of the best state championship games you will see. A strong number 2 for me has to be the one last night at 8 p.m. Walton Milton. Had some lulls in it, but it was competitive throughout. No team had I think, larger than a 10-point lead in the game. I mean, that's how you get it done. That was an exciting state championship game and very, very fun. But we're going to leave that there. I'm going to let Craig do his thing on it tomorrow. But I want to talk about some players from the state championship that really impressed me and players to put on your radar, guys, going forward in 2024. One is going to be Jaden Miles. Had a big impact in the state championship. He's number 1 for Savannah Christian. He's going to be a player to watch. Was playing a little bit of receiver, running back, a little bit of a flex athlete kind of a role in the state championship. Had a rushing touchdown in this game as well. Just show he could be a game changer in the offense, I think. And I know he had a limited role this season. The stat line doesn't show it. But just a guy, that you can depend on in the game. And I think it's going to be big for them. They're going to have a lot of good guys coming back. Obviously, Damon Guyton, who I talked about on my Twitter handle, he's coming back. The guy is loaded. I mean, 6'3", good frame, athletic, can get to the passer. He was making splash plays throughout the game. Him, and you're going to bring back potentially the number 1, number 2 player in the country in Elijah Griffin. Savannah Christian definitely will be back. It'll be a lot of fun to watch them and see kind of 3A unfold. But I thought, Jaden Miles really impressed me. He's going to be a player to watch going into next year as a rising senior in the 2025 class. Number 4 has to be Anthony Booker. I shouted him out also on my Twitter. Cedar Grove. What's so cool about them is that it's the same thing with Milton, kind of, to a degree. They're going to bring back a vast majority of their talent with state championship experience and winning it, and with a phenomenal head coach in John Adams, right? But Booker, what makes him so good is that his ability to be physical. You may not think that when you look at his frame, but his ability to, you drop his shoulder, his ability to get downhill and make big runs. He had 9 runs for 93 yards in that game, and he had a touchdown. So I think that's good. And the reason I say that is because you're going to have Bo Walker, right, who's obviously a Georgia commit, but that makes Cedar Grove even more dangerous because you got a guy that can get over the top of the defense in Devin Carter, and he can beat you in the intermediate routes as well. And then you're going to have a guy out of the backfield, Bo Walker, who's going to just thump you all game. And then you got another thumper / speed guy, kind of a mixed hybrid between the two, and Anthony Booker as well. So that's just, they're going to make them different next year. You're going to have so many weapons. That's 3 guys you can depend on for Cedar Grove going forward, along with a really great quarterback who's actually going to have a big announcement coming up after the show, E.J. Colson. So I'm going to stay tuned for that and see that. He said there's a big announcement coming up on his Instagram, so go check that out as well. But they're going to be a very good team, big win for them, and I think they definitely avenged that phantom call that they got last year. And I don't know who I was talking to. It might have been Craig. It might have been someone else. But they brought up a great point just with the resolve of Cedar Grove and how they answered and how they responded to something that didn't go their way, right, last year. They had the consummate kind of just fantastic response that you would love to see out of, one, the head coach and the leader of your group, and out of your team. And they showed that they was here to play. And I'm not going to lie, I did have some doubts just with defensively, how I was giving up points, but there's a method behind the madness, man. There's a method of playing, a tough schedule, a tough non-region schedule, playing tough teams out of state, playing some of the best contenders in 6A, 7A, 5A. It makes a difference, man. And it's the reason why the last 2 years they have been in the state championship, and now they've hosted or hoisted their 5th state championship in school history. So they're doing it right. And the cool thing is, we will be able to see Cedar Grove at the start of the season next year. Super excited. They signed a 2-year deal. They will be playing in the Corky Kell Dave Hunter Classic football next year at Mercedes-Benz to conclude the Classic. That's going to be a lot of fun, man. I finally get to see them up close and personal. I did, obviously, yesterday, but being able to see a full game of them, that's going to be a lot of fun, man. A really elite program. That's going to be a great way to end and conclude Corky Kell Dave Hunter Classic. All right, number 3 is Bray Cole, also number 3. He plays for Coffee. I was really impressed with him. He will be a returning starter next year. Receiver. They're graduating a lot of their seniors next year, right along with the Fred Brown, a lot of the senior playmakers. And I thought what was so cool about him is he was making big play after big play. There's a couple fourth downs in there, and he was just like a weapon that Maurice Hensley can just kind of depend on in the game. Like Creekside would get it to fourth down, and he would just come up big time and time again. And one of the big ones was that 4th and 8 play. He ended up beating coverage. It was like designed, I think, to the right. He goes down. He's matched up against a really great player in Travis Terrell. He's able to get behind the defense. The safety mistimed it, essentially, trying to get the pick, and he still had the sure hands to look over, basically, the safety trying to get it and come in with the catch. So I think he's going to be a guy to definitely watch out for Coffee, especially how elite of a team they are going into next year. I mean, he's really, really good. Short-handed receiver, can make big splash plays. He's going to be one to watch as well. Bray Cole, remember that name, going into 2025 class as well, heading into next year. All right, let's keep it rolling. Let's talk about quick recruiting news. So DeBron Gatlin, you guys know, he decommitted last week or earlier this week from Texas A&M. I kind of knew this was going to happen, especially when he said whenever a player announces that the recruitment is open, they're not really sold on the team they're at. They're looking for something else to potentially come, whether that's an offer or a potential relationship with a coach, or they're looking for something else. So I kind of knew this was like on the works. This is why I reported about it and talked about it in my recruiting intel article. But I think it's interesting, especially with signing day a little bit less than a week away. It's actually next Wednesday. So it'd be interesting to see where he goes. But I'm going to say this. I could see this star potentially going to South Carolina. I think that's a good fit for him. They like to pass the ball. Obviously, next year they're going to have to work on some things as far as their offensive line and getting better. But I think he would be a great fit for the program. I think they also have Jalewis Solomon, who decommitted from Auburn, I think a couple months ago, and is going there as well to South Carolina. So I think it'd be a good get for them. They're recruiting very well in Georgia. Also got Wendell Gregory as well that's going to be going there. I think that'd be a good get for that program, especially, and I think they got the right tools and pieces in place to be really, really good. So that's my prediction. I could be wrong, but I would not be surprised potentially if we see some rumblings and him potentially, when it's signing day next week, potentially going there. All right, so Greg, I want you to load this up for me. It's all the way at the bottom, but I want to react to the Battle of the Peach to end out the first segment before we go to the second. It's a couple like headlines I want to talk about, but first one is, I gotta say, it's like the number 5 maybe player in the country committed to Duke. Isaiah Evans, man, is the real deal out of North Mecklenburg, out of North Carolina. Takes it serious, man. Talks his junk, does his thing, man. Very elite player, going to Duke, can score on all 3 levels, has a great jump shot. Just gets it, man. Really played well when they played Holly Innocence this past weekend in the Battle of the Peach. So I want to talk a little about him. But it's another kid that's kind of slept on. He's a former son of an NBA player, Trey Maxwell. Can really fill it up, man. He had 5 threes in a quarter in that game. So I love his ability to be able to stretch the floor. He's a striper extraordinaire, a marksman, could just really hit from deep, efficient, and he just complements Isaiah so well. And the crazy part, you're going to hear it on the interview, him and Isaiah get up about 800 to 1,000 shots a day. Yeah, that's not in a week. That's a day. So I want to roll a clip with his interview and go ahead and play it and kind of react to it. All right, guys, so I'm with Trey Maxwell of North Mecklenburg, man. You guys put up another big scoring night, man. So just talk about the game tonight, how comfortable you were just in the flow of the offense. Hit a lot of threes to start, but just talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, you know, me and my coach tells us to push the ball every day. Like, we push the ball up, we run. We're one of the fastest teams in the country, and we're really underrated. I feel like I'm underrated, you know, I can really shoot the ball, you know, and my teammates get me open, too. My teammates are underrated for getting me open. Like, I give all the credit to them for me hitting my shots. They get me open a lot.
Now, your assistant coach was actually talking about how y'all make the practice harder than the game. So just talk a little bit about that and just kind of like how practice is, because it looks like it's just flowing out there for y'all. So talk a little bit about that.
In practice, we 100% every day. There's not one day we're not locked in. There's not one game that we're not looking forward to. It doesn't matter who we're playing. We're locked in every single day. It doesn't matter.
And then talk a little bit about your ability to stretch the floor, right? There's a lot you got to do to be able to shoot at that high of a percentage to be efficient. So walk me through this your offseason, like what you do on a day-to-day basis to be able to shoot the ball so well.
So basically, I be on the gun, you know. Be with my boy Isaiah. We be on the gun a lot. You know. I don't know, we just be on the gun. That's it. Really.
How many shots you get up if you had to say per day, or you know what I'm saying, something like that?
800, 1,000, something like that. Me and him together though. Me and Isaiah together, yeah.
And then talk a little bit about just y'all two connection in the backcourt and y'all ability to read the defense and just how comfortable it is, you know, he rolling with you rolling with him, and just how y'all can set defense up.
We actually go way back, so, you know, we got that connection. That's my boy. I rock with him, you know. He looking for me, and I'm always looking for him, and we know that, so, you know, we click, so, yeah.
And then talk a little bit about, I know you said you were underrated. Talk about just like the recruit and just like your plans for college and things like that. What's your ideal fit, do you think?
You know, I got an offer from Hampton. You know, I like that a lot. My big brother go there, Tristan Maxwell. He a good. But, you know, it's going good right now. You know, I'm getting a lot of coaches talking to me right now, getting a lot of interest. I think the offer's about to start coming in.
I agree, man. I was really impressed with your game. A couple more and I'll let you go, man. One, just what's the goals for the rest of the season? What do you want to kind of accomplish first personally and then obviously with your team?
All right. You know, I want to make the most threes in my school's history. You know, I want to be my big brother. And, yeah, for the team, you know, I want to make it to the state championship. And, yeah, that's really it.
I know you got to know the number. If it's your big brother, I know you got to know how many threes he got. So what's that number?
He got 112. I had 93 last year, so I think I could beat that this year.
Final question, man. Is there anybody in the NBA or college level you just model your game after?
You know, I like Jalen Brunson, but, you know, I don't really play like him. I like Gary Trent Jr. That's my guy. I like watching Gary Trent Jr. Yeah, he shoots it.
Y'all got and they definitely have similar play styles, guys. But thank you for tuning in. That is Trey Maxwell, underrated player, can shoot the three very, very well at an efficient clip. A player to know, man.
Yes, sir.
So there you have it, Trey Maxwell. As you can see, and I think his game is very similar to Gary Trent Jr., guy that can space the floor, sharp shooter, give him the ball. He can create off the dribble, can create for his teammates. He was doing that throughout the game. He was sparking it from deep. And that's what kind of made them so good in that game. I mean, their ability, they were not missing their threes, so you could tell him and Isaiah, they're always on the gun, always just shooting the ball, perfecting their craft. So, again, underrated player, only has offer from Hampton right now, but as he said, recruiting should start to pick up 2024 class player. But, again, a guy that can just stroke it from deep, very good, great player, I think very, very special. But my headlines just from that, and being at that tournament, I think C.J. Brown, man, has completely developed. Still a vastly underrated player. He's only ranked on 247 Sports as a 3-star UCF commit. But you talk about a guy that took a big step forward. I thought he was pretty good last year, but just I seen him this summer, and he was at Double Trouble Invitational. And, you know, obviously his game was good, but it's not to what it is now. Like, I mean, this guy's scoring on all three levels. He has a dribble. He's disruptive defensively. He's making plays. He's sparking runs. He has the gym getting off their feet. If you guys didn't see it, you can go to my Instagram. I did a video on it. Him just, you know, multiple big play dunks. Dunked on a 7-footer, Josh Hill, who's a really great player, highest ranking player in Arkansas State's history as a commit. Dunked on him, right, had the moment, celebrated with his former teammate Peyton Marshall, who was at OTE. It just goes to show you, man, how much a player can just really develop. And it don't have to be a lot of time. Like, I seen him this summer, and he was good. But I think now he's great. I think he's one of the top players in the state. Just the ability to space the floor, be a point guard, lead the team. And that's all without their best player who's no longer with them, who is Peyton Marshall. But if you had to tell me now, I definitely think he's the best player on Cal basketball. And he's going to be the reason why they're in contention for a state title in 5A. He is just that good. That was one of my big storylines coming out from being there. And then the other one has to be Karis Bilal from Riverwood. I thought all game, you know, he was getting hexed. He was getting, you know, guarded very tough, but just a tough shot maker. He's a Vandy commit. You know, he plays along with J.R. Leonard, who's a very heavily recruited 2025 guy. Just very elite. Just the ability to be able to shot make, I think, was special. It doesn't matter what kind of defensive coverage you throw at him. He handles the ball well. It doesn't turn it over. Always locked in. And I got to give him credit for his composure in that game. Sometimes you'll get irritants and you'll get guys that, you know, just they're trying to irritate you. You know, trying to get you off your game. And I feel like his matchup was trying to do that, but he didn't cave to it. He continued to just be able to hit big shots, got fouled, got to his spots, and really just one of those special players, man. And Coach Jerry Stackhouse getting a very, very good player coming to the program. So definitely give him some love there. And I think in 7A, I know Grayson, I said, is the favorite, and obviously they are. But I think another team to watch for is going to be Berkmar this year, right? They're a team to watch because of the backcourt, or I would just say the two-man game with Mekhi Ragland and obviously Eddie Cook. You know, sometimes they'll try to space the floor, shoot it pretty deep, but, you know, can't get it. But Mekhi Ragland's just a beast on the boards, man. Somebody you can depend on, somebody that can finish well around the hoop. He blocks shots, he rebounds. And you got Eddie Cook kind of manning the game and his ability to kind of just, you know, get downhill, get to his spots, hit the threes. They're going to be a team to watch. And I got to say, they played against Osborne. I was very, very impressed with just how they looked, right? No Kai Fleming, but as a team, they looked good. They battled against a really good Berkmar team, came down towards the end. And it's tough right now because Kai Fleming is actually out, hurt, you know, from him that he has a torn meniscus. So, you know, he's going to be out for a while. If you guys don't know who Kai Fleming is, he's a very special guard. Same thing I just told you guys about, obviously, C.J. Brown, right? A guy that wasn't really known like last year. And I got to shout out Bacon from Bacon Network, Arvon Bacon, just him putting the light on Kai early before he started to blow up. I mean, I thought he was one of the first ones to kind of shed that light on Kai. And then next thing you know, he's a 4-star player and he's balling out and, you know, he's having a great season. So I just, you know, got to give, you know, credit to Bacon for being able to see that talent early. And he's a really special scorer, you know, really, you know, cool student, good player, and things like that. But yeah, without him, they still gave them a game. So I know they're going to be looking for the star to come back, hopefully maybe during playoff time, potentially, or earlier, or during region tournament time. But I thought they still look like a formidable team without him as well. And I'm trying to think, was there any other big storyline from it? Oh, Decula. Gotta get some love to Decula. They're not talked about a lot, but they have a really interesting team, right? They got a guy like in the post. He can, you know, finish around the rim. He's a good rim protector. But I think really good is it got to be their point guard. He's an underrated guy. See if I can get his name before I say it on air. Hold on one second, y'all. Okay, so guy I was talking about, I just want to give specific names. His name is Alai Akeda. He's averaging 15 points per game and 14 rebounds. The point guard I was just talking about, who I think has the potential to be special. See if I can find him. See this Squidnet Daily Post. Yeah, there it is. Jaden Madison. So I think his ability to be able to handle the ball, get in and around the hoop, still, you know, perfecting that jump shot, ability to get to the second level of the defense and finish around the rim. I mean, Decula is going to be a team to watch. Obviously, I think they're a very senior-laden group, but his ability to kind of finish around the rim, handle the ball, handle press coverage, he really impressed me throughout the tournament as well. But those are my big storylines, guys. It's going to be a lot of fun teams to watch, especially now with football season over. Obviously, we'll still have recruiting news for that on our show on Tuesdays. We'll still talk about college football, and it's the latest around the transfer portal, signing day, all that good stuff. But basketball is going to definitely heat up now. Definitely can't wait. Definitely some big tournaments coming up. But I'm going to see you guys on the other side. We're going to thank our sponsors and see you guys on the other side. Talk a little bit about Tell the Tape.
Dang, where you get this car?
You need to join the union.
The union?
Absolutely. You can get 10 of these.
Union construction workers earn the highest wages with the best benefits and the most protection in the construction industry. Find your career in construction. Go to GeorgiaConstructionCareers.com and start your future today.
What you doing?
Hey, just finishing this claim to get Dave back on the road.
Nice. I wonder what Dave's doing.
You do your thing. We've got you covered.
right, y'all know what time it is, man. My favorite part of the show, tell of the tape. Got a lot of players to talk about today. We're going to be talking about Commerce running back Jaiden Daniels, who's another underrated player you want to watch for in the 25 class coming up. Had a magnificent season. We're going to talk about him. And then a wide receiver out of Alabama, James Clemens, Ty Doughty. Very good season for them. He was named James Clemens MVP. So we're going to talk about both. Both have some dangerous playmaking ability, and both are some really great talents. Maybe we're going to shed some light on them. So without further ado, let's roll the tape of Jaiden Daniels. All right, so here's the first play. You're going to see I'm slow it down. This is the jump cut right there in the hole. Look at him turn on the jets right there. He's gone. That's an easy tutty. Just the jump cut in the hole I thought was very special right there. There he is. A nice pitch play. Blocked well. Look at him break the tackle right here. Boom. Look at that jump cut. Right there, making the defender miss, turning into a big game. Very, very special. His jump cut ability is the next level. Here he is right here. Look at him just get downhill. See the hole. Excellent vision right there. And then, once again, you seeing that track speed right there, being able to turn into a big play yet again. All right, here it is right here. So you can get a play. Boom. Look at that cut. I'm going to have you go back on that one, Craig, to see that. But just his cut ability is next level, man. I mean, what he's doing is very special. Look at this right here. I slowed it down. Boom. Right here in the hole. Boom. Look at this guy. Boom. Look at that cut right there. Makes him look silly on the play. And then look at he turned into a big play yet again and another big-time touchdown. I mean, his cut ability is next level. Again, Commerce High School in Georgia. Special, special, special player. Here he is again in the white. Watch, look for 6. Boom, look at him go left. Boom, look at him make different image. Look at the spin. Ooh, look at that. Come on, man. That's supposed to be at least a 5-yard gain. Look at him turn this into a touchdown, y'all. I mean, again, thank you, Craig, for going back. And let's look at it again. Okay, boom, he's going left. Look at the vision. Boom, let's make him miss. Boom, look at that jump cut. 2, 3, 4. That's 4 defenders making them miss and turning into a touchdown. Come on, man. That's special right there. There's nothing there. Obviously, I did an instant replay too. Slowed it down. Gotta look at this. Boom. Look at him make the first defender miss. Good job hurling over him. Look at the jump cut. Yup, make you miss. Boom, break that tackle. I'm telling you, he breaks 5 tackles on that play, and it turns it into a touchdown. You can't teach that. That's just something you have, man, and he has it. Like that's an it factor right there. Great job right there from Daniels, making it miss. And then, boom, here it is right here. Look at him get to the outside, and then, boom, look at him turn on the jets. You know, and his defender's right there, but just his speed is next level. You don't need much. Boom, look, break that tackle right there. Just making linebackers miss in the hole, man. That's what you want to see. That's what you want on the next level. Here's a outside toss play. Makes the defender miss. That's 2 miss. And then look at him get to the edge. Got to contain the edge against this guy if you want to have a chance. If not, he's going to make you pay. Same thing. And then here's right here, showing just his unique athletic ability, throwing the ball for a touchdown, one of his passive touchdowns on the year. Now, here comes a critical play, a 4th and 3. Now, pause it, Craig. Look how many defenders is in this box. Let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Basically 11 in the box. On a 4th and 3. Look what he does, guys. Doesn't matter. Breaks tackle. Breaks that tackle. Come on, man. 20-yard gain with 11 in the box. Stop it. Stop it. That's getting it done. And then right here, you're going to just see the overall athletic ability, right? Kick return. Look at him find the crease. Make the defender miss. Ooh, look at that other one. Oh, my Lord. And look at him turn into a big play. I'm telling you, that jump cut ability is special. His dad trained him very, very well and showing him that art, man. That is next level. And then right here, same thing. Get to the outside. Ooh, go back for me, Craig. Lord. One more time. Okay, boom. Look at him make the defender miss. Okay. And then right here, look at him cut. Oh, my. Did you see him touch the ground to the defender? Oh, my goodness. Woo. And boom, this is on the other side. Big time run play right there. You're going to see a mix, guys, here of regular season and his playoff highlights. Right here, just an off edge run. Boom, look at that jump cut yet again. That's not supposed to happen. He's supposed to not come out of bounds. And then boom, nice block right there from the receiver. Nice 15-yard gain right there. Boom, look at him jump cut, make the defender look silly again. That's supposed to be a TFL. Go back to that one, Craig. I got to play that one more time. I'm sorry. That is insane. Come on, man. This is a Division I player on the next level. You can't tell me he's not. Look at this. Look at him make a miss. I mean, he's touching grass. My goodness. All right, then right here, look at him run off tackle. Boom, look at the vision. Good job right there getting to the outside. Perfect play. And then here you're just going to see the overall athletic ability, playing defense as well. You know how classy Division I is. They're going to read the quarterback, come down, great open field tackling. A phenomenal all-around athlete, man. You see it on that tape. Again, in my standouts, real quick, got to say, great jump cut ability. One-on-one, you don't want to be one-on-one on the island with this guy. He's going to make you play, as you've seen it with the great jump cut ability, right? Can make defenders miss in the hole and in the open field. So when he's getting past that first line of defense, he's able to still make cuts, jukes, all that good stuff, and turn it into a touchdown. So that's when some of the players that I've done, I've said, okay, hey, he has great ability as a runner. Can he make explosive plays and turn it into touchdowns? You don't have that question with Jaiden Daniels. He's getting past the first line of defense, getting to the second level of the defense with the linebacker and the safety, and then he's being able to turn that into a touchdown. So there's no question about that. I like that he doesn't waste time. He's not playing around. He's not, oh, let me juke. He is doing one move, one cut, one juke, and he's going to where he needs to go. So I love that about him as well. He's a good decision maker as well. Phenomenal vision. And a great thing about his season, guys, won Region 8 Division I Player of the Year, finished the season with 1,965 yards, 23 touchdowns, a kick return for a touchdown, and as you've seen in that replay, a passing touchdown. That's getting it done. That's a phenomenal player. Jaiden Daniels, one to know for next year. Probably doesn't get as much love because it's in Class A Division I, but as you can see, the tape does not lie. And you see how special that kid is and what he's going to mean for a program going forward. He is one to know out of Commerce High School. Jaiden Daniels, phenomenal player, and also has a very high GPA and also contributes to his community and to kids in the community as well. Phenomenal all-around athlete. You definitely want him on your team on the next level. All right, next player. Tell the tape. This is wide receiver out of James Clemens, wide receiver Ty Doughty out of Alabama. A really special player. Did a lot of things well. Wait till you guys see this tape. You thought that one was really, really good, which it was. This one is really, really, really good. So let's roll it. All right, here he is right here. Nice little bubble screen for him. And then boom, look at these cuts right here. Look at this. Lord. Woo! My goodness. Look at him make a miss in open field. And then get to the edge and turn it into a touchdown. Woo. Oh, my goodness. Same thing you seen it right there. Just making the defender miss. All right, and then here's the special ability. Punt return. Getting hit early and often. Doesn't matter. Look at him find the crease there. And look at him turn it into a play. So he is a dangerous playmaker. And being able to turn plays that ain't supposed to go anywhere into big plays. Same thing right here. Boom. There's the coverage. Look at him. Not wasting no time. Get downhill. Make his cut. And get all the way for another touchdown. He had 3 of these this year. This is the 3rd punt return he had for a touchdown. Boom. Same thing right here. Now look at this. Look how impressive this is. Let him get to the edge. Boom. Look at this cut. I mean, easy money, big playmaker. And right here, they just hand it to him. Now look at this vision. Look at that. Get off me. Boom. Okay, I see him open on the outside. Look at him turn on the Jets. That's not supposed to happen. That is incredible. That's 2 defenders he took on, still scored a touchdown. Here he is in motion. Giving it to him again. Boom, look at that cut. Breaks that tackle. Come on, man. That's just sheer will right there. Breaking the tackle, turning that into a touchdown. That's supposed to be a loss on the play. And I know you might be thinking, okay, he's not the biggest guy, but he's taking on linebackers and throwing them off him. and turn it into big plays. Right here, same thing out of the backfield. Look at him turn into the big play. Good cut right there. And then there's the Jets. Can tell, again, he runs track. One of those special guys. All right, here we go. This is the one I was talking about, the punt return. Special right here. Look at this. Make you miss. I'm going in the middle. Look at that. He got me. No, he don't. Get off me, man. Look at that. It's a linebacker. Doesn't matter. And look at the vision right there. Big time punt return right there. Breaking multiple tackles yet again. Here he is in the slot. Man, love that. I'm going to have you replay that one, Craig. Because this is ability right there is fantastic. Now look at this. So you got him in the slot. This defender is going to read. Obviously, he studied and looked at his film. But look what he's able to do to make him miss. This is supposed to be a TFL. But the ability to make him miss and then go turn on the Jets for a touchdown is incredible. Look at this. So the defender knows, okay, it's coming. Here it is. I'm going to get past the block. Makes him miss. And then there you have it. Big time gain right there. Big time tutty. Yet again, I think I instant replayed it too. But just making him miss. Supposed to be a TFL. And then turning that into a large gain. Definitely a very underrated receiver in Alabama. Same thing right here. Bubble screen. Look at this. Make him miss. Come on, man. That's not supposed to go for that long. And he's going to turn that to a touchdown. So a big playmaker. I mean, big yak ability. Being able to beat the first contact. And right here, look at the route running. Love that. In coverage, doesn't matter. I'm going to go up and go get it. So you see in the whole full array of things. And right there, that's throwing a block. What's one thing we always say about receivers? They don't like the block. He's throwing the defender out of bounds. And look at this. Slow this one down for me, Craig. I want to talk about this one. Guys, when I say this is special, this probably is like my favorite play of his whole tape. Now, look how far the cornerback is playing in this play. He's all the way on the right side of the screen if you guys can't see it. Not the left, on your right side. And the defender's right here. Look at him sell this like curl route, like he's about to come back to the quarterback and turn on the Jets. And what's really special about his game, I think he's a route running technician. I really think so. Watch this right here. Look at him sell it. Look how he baits the defender with the hips. I mean, you can run that again. I mean, just a great ability right there. Look at him sell it. So same thing. Route running technician. Here he is right here. Last time. Boom. Look at him sell the defender. Look him make him bite. Turn it into that big play right there. That is excellent route running ability. That's footwork. That's how you get it done. Right here. Boom. Look at the cut. Whew. Look how him completely turn him around. Goodness. I had to throw that on an instant replay. Here it is again. Not supposed to go for long. Boom. Defender does his job. He's there. Now this is just his ability. Look at that. Cut inside. Oh, he's coming. Oh, back outside. Turn him completely around and turn that into at least a 7 to 8 yard gain. Come on, man. That's special. And then boom, right here. Nice job going on the inside of the defense. Good job selling like he's going outside. Good slant route, turning that into a big gain yet again. And here he is right here, coming back to his quarterback. Look at this move. Woo! Goodness, touching the air right there. And then right here, nice crossing route, getting to the face of your quarterback. And look at this. Get off of me. I'm going to turn this into a big game right here. Nice job right there, making the first defender miss. He's doing it on every play. Boom, here he is, coming up. Look at this move. Spin off. Nope, you can't get me either. Come on, it's going to take 2 or 3 of y'all to get me down. Come on, man. And then right here, you just see the full array. And then that's what I like about it. He's taking a big hit. Oh, yeah, I'm going to have you slow this one down, Craig. I got to break this one down. This one right here is special. Okay, so right there taking the contact, but look at this last one. So pause that. So again, you can tell this is cover 3. Look how deep they are on this play. The corners and then the safety. One high safety. So look at him sell this right in the slot. Sell it like, okay, hey, I'm not really doing nothing. I'm just waiting. Look at him sell it and look how the defender reacts. Look at this. Boom. Okay, I'm selling. Boom. Turn on the Jets. Completely fools him. Easy touchdown. That's being a route runner technician right there. Because if you don't sell that play, then the defender's going to stay on you. But what he does is, okay, hey, I'm not doing anything. I'm just kind of blocking, or I might just go on this corner route. So then he baits the corner thinking, oh, okay, he's not going to run a route. If he runs that corner, I'm going to be there. But then he goes, sells it, and then runs right up the seam, makes an easy throw for his quarterback. That's why he was wide open. So for me, that's why I think he's a route running technician, man. He is very special. He already showed the yak ability on that play, a dangerous playmaker. As you can see, that one play, caught the ball, defender does a good job coming up, but he makes something out of nothing. There's nothing there. He cuts inside, right, sees the other defender coming up, and it cuts back completely, turns him around, basically does a pirouette, and gets to the outside for a big gain. So, again, one of the more slept-on receivers. I definitely think so. Dangerous playmaker. Get him the ball in his place and let him work. Great return specialist as well. You can see that. Good yak ability. Can catch the ball through traffic. And what I love is that he's not just a one type of receiver. Sometimes you see small guys that can only do one thing. It's just speed. He's not just speed. He has good footwork. He's a good route runner. He can catch the ball over traffic. And he don't mind taking a big hit either. So he can do a little bit of everything. And a phenomenal thing about his year, named first team all-regional offense, final stat line, 56 catches for 739 yards, 12 total touchdowns, 1,337 all-purpose yards, 3 punt returns for a touchdown, and 2 rushing touchdowns. He was also named James Clemens MVP. He's going to be one of the returning stars this year. Just a special, special player for James Clemens out of Alabama. Go check his tape, man. He is a special guy for them, and I appreciate him sending the tape over. That was very awesome to watch. All right, so last thing, got to give a special shout out to Hayden Clay as well for the hoops. He has had high games of 29 points, 10 rebounds, and 17 points and 10 rebounds, averaging 4 blocks so far for Trinity Christian out in Dublin, Georgia. 6'8" forward for them in the 2026 class. Got to give him some love. Been doing his thing for Trinity Christian so far this season. Want to give him the love. But we're going to take one more quick break, thank our sponsors, and conclude the show with the top 10 headlines for the weekend.
What you doing?
Hey, just finishing this claim to get Dave back on the road.
Nice. I wonder what Dave's doing.
You do your thing. We've got you covered.
Hey, is the power off on this?
I don't know. Just take it off.
Safety violation, unsafe work conditions.
In the construction trades unions, safety is our highest priority, and we train you to recognize and speak out on unsafe working conditions so that everyone arrives and goes home safely. Learn about careers in construction at GeorgiaConstructionCareers.com.
All right, welcome back to the top 10 headlines for the weekend presented by GeorgiaConstructionCareers.com. I hope you guys are excited. Got a lot of big headlines going into this weekend. Number one, Craig, I don't know if you've seen this from AJC Sports. The Falcons are going to grant $50,000 to help recruit new officials. That is a big headline going into the weekend. That is my number one. I think this is big, especially with what we've been dealing with officiating, Craig, just as far as not having enough people being at the events. This definitely should help bring more people forward. Shout out to Arthur Blank and his foundation and the Falcons for trying to contribute to help this recurring problem this year for GHSA. And I think it's going to be good, Craig, especially with basketball championships coming up. You got baseball, you got soccer in the spring, you got lacrosse. We need as much officials as we can get. So good on the Falcons for being able to just donate this money. Hopefully we can have more officials. We won't have as many problems going into next year. Hopefully this will help. But go on agc.com for the full article on this. I thought this was a big headline as well. Number two, regardless of the game, I still think he's one of the top players in the country, and Jeremy Hecklinski. He is going to play in the All-American Bowl. He announced it himself on his Twitter page, the NBC All-American Bowl in San Antonio in January. Honestly, love that. I still had a special season, man. 48 touchdowns, 3 interceptions going into this game. So just was one of those players, big-time wins all year long, beat their rival finally in North Cobb, won a region championship, hit 2 of their 3 goals this season, and did a magnificent job, I thought, overall. So I've been saying it for years. I thought it was a special talent. I think he's still going to be special at Wake Forest. And I think that game against Milton is just going to be a learning thing for him, and he's just going to know how to respond to adversity when he faces it again. I think it's going to be a good lesson for him. They unfortunately lost, like I said, But again, it's a great honor. They don't just give this invite to anybody, so I think it's really special for him to be able to go play and also be able to go show his talent on the national level at this basically, I guess you should say it's like a game / practices and tournament and stuff like that. So really excited for him. You can go check his Twitter for that. Number 3, kind of high school, kind of college. Former Kell defensive star Joshua Bear Barker has entered the transfer portal. He had 7 sacks with Benedict College in his freshman season. He set the Kell record, guys, if you didn't know, in 2022 for the most sacks in their school history for a season. So is now looking for a new home. Be interesting to see where he lands and where he decides to go going forward. I think he's a special athlete. A lot of people say like, oh, he's undersized, but he knows what he's doing. He's contributing on the college level. I think he can really help out a program potentially. And really contribute early on. He showed that in his first year. So I think that would be interesting to see. Number 4, it's a pretty cool stat, y'all. It's from Marvin L. James II via @SportsGuyMarv on Twitter. He is from WMAZ 13 Sports, affiliate of CBS. So interesting stat, he said E.J. Colson and Culture Gin both started their careers at Peach County. I did not know that. And they both just won state championships. So I think that was a pretty cool story. Kind of rough for Peach not being able to keep these star talents at home or at your school, but just goes to show Peach County initially getting some really good talent. Just unfortunately couldn't get it to stay. But both of those guys are fantastic. And a quick update actually via his Twitter, Culture Gin actually just announced that he's accepting his PWO from Georgia. So he's going to go out there and try to go compete and battle for a spot potentially. See how that is going forward. And speaking of E.J. Colson, he has a big announcement, as I said, at the top of the hour of the show coming up at 3:30. So be interesting to see what that is going to be. Keep it locked there to see what happens with that. All right, number 5, Travis Terrell makes commitment official. He did it right before state championship yesterday. Officially committed to Jackson State University. That's the former college that Dion coached at. I think they're getting a great get in this player. Made several splash plays yesterday. I thought he did all he could. He made some good plays defensively yesterday or last night. I thought, too, that return he had, Craig, right before they got the ball and they scored the big touchdown, that was huge, giving them some momentum. And I thought the second half, for the most part, the defense locked down, right? Besides that late-game touchdown, right, obviously from their quarterback, Maurice, they held Coffee to only 3 points. So up until that point, they were doing a good job. They kept him at bay, kept him in the game. That's getting it done. It just came up a little bit short. But he's going to be a great addition to their team, doing a little bit of everything. I want to give him a shout-out and congratulations to Travis Terrell for his great performance. Shout out to him, and shout out to him for his commitment to Jackson State recently. All right, number 6. Big news out of East Forsyth. They just named their defensive coordinator, Dustin Cannon, who was promoted to head coach. He is now their head coach. Brian Allison retired from coaching. I think he's taking over a program at a really good spot. I think they're entering just their 4th year. And what's so cool about that is East Forsyth went 7-4 this past season. Very competitive. The year before, I think they were like 6-4. So each year they've gotten better and better. And this program has now produced 2 consecutive winning seasons. And the good part about it, guys, is he was a part of all of that. He's seen it grow. He's seen it start. He's seen them get a couple winning seasons going. So I think East Forsyth is starting to build some really, really good momentum going forward. I think they were in 4A. They might reclass, I think, to 3A. I'm going to have to look at my reclassifications, especially going forward for next year for football. But I think he's getting the job at the right time. He's young. He knows what it takes to win. And he manned this really good, improved defense last season. So I think that's going to be special for them going forward. So shout out to him for that. Number 7, I give a special congrats to Sophia Pearl out of River Ridge. She eclipsed her 1,000 point this season. She's a very special player. We got to see her at the Coca-Cola basketball a couple Saturdays ago. Just her ability to be able to stretch the floor with a 3-point shot, being able to get to her spots, being able to create and transition for her teammates and things like that. That's just a special program, man. I think they got the inside track River Ridge does to win another state championship this year. So many players that could throw at you. Clayla Cleveland, obviously Sophia Pearl, Finley Parker. They got so many players. Michaela Roberson, just a bunch of players that can go at you, don't mind taking the matchup, playing the opponent's best player. They got a lot of good players, man, and she's one of the reasons why So special shout out to her. She became just the 6th Lady Knight to achieve the feat of 1,000 points in her career and only a short 15-year history. So shout out to her for that. All right, number 8. Got to give a shout out to some special players performing high on the next level. 1, Caleb Downs being named All-American SEC Player of the Year, All SEC Freshman Team, and especially Kennesaw Mountain's offensive tackle, Connor Liu. We just seen him recently in Corky Kell, obviously last year for Kennesaw Mountain. But I mean, to come in and make an instant impact on the next level is special. In his freshman season, he was named an All-American as a freshman, and he did not allow any sacks this year. That's getting it done, man. And you got to give credit to these programs, the Mill Creeks, the Kennesaw Mountains, and the programs overall in Georgia. Getting these kids ready and prepared to play college, high Power 5, might not be Power 5 no more, especially with the dissipation of the Pac-12. But you guys get my point. Playing high-end Division I football and contributing early on, not easy to do. Usually you have to beat out juniors and seniors and people that have been playing for a long time. Georgia's doing a phenomenal job of getting these players ready to go early on and early in their careers. So shout out Georgia high school football is doing a phenomenal job of that. Number 9, Cameron Bland continues to prove as a special multi-sport athlete for Lambert. He dropped 38 points in a loss against Hebron Christian. So after having a really good junior season, he had 25 catches, 421 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Also getting it done on the court with his 38 points in a big loss against Hebron Christian. But just love that, man. Multi-sport athletes being able to do it on the court, on the field, and just being able to contribute to their team. He's doing it. Want to give him a special shot. I think that's a big headline going into this weekend. And then number 10, got to get some love to Kennesaw State commit Braden Liu from Alexander High School on surpassing 1,000 career points. Not an easy feat to do. He's really one of the reasons why they are a contender in 6A. He's had a great career. Been doing some great things for the program. They recently just beat Norcross, so doing some magnificent stuff there. And I think he makes them special. He makes them special, and they're going to be a team to watch. Obviously, you got them. You're going to have Shiloh, who has a big matchup coming up. I'm going to talk about in a second. But he's why they're so special. So shout out to Braden Liu on surpassing 1,000 career points. But yeah, big time matchups. So if you have nothing to do this weekend, there's some big time matchups on the hoops level as well before we have our signing day next week. Berkmar plays Shiloh this weekend on Saturday. I think that's a marquee matchup, a 7A contender, a 6A contender. Both of those teams going at it not too far apart from each other. They're going to be interesting, especially the big man matchup with Makai Ragland going against Tyler Jordan. The backcourt matchup of Eddie Cook versus Julian Cole, who's having a phenomenal year, averaging 20 points this year. He's just a great complement, I think, in my opinion, to Tyler Jordan and what makes them really, really so special. So, phenomenal year. That's going to be an interesting matchup between those two. Who comes out on top definitely will have some kind of ranking adjustments after that game, I'm sure. But really interesting to see how elite Shiloh is. They're doing a great job. They're going to play a really good team against Berkmar. So it should be a lot of fun watching those two go at it. I think, Craig, tomorrow, preview your show, who are you going to have on? Milton and Coffee. So Craig's going to have 2 state championship winning coaches on the show for tomorrow. So go check that out. I'm trying to get Coach Reeves as well. But if Craig gets him, I might just kind of relax on that. But me and him had the conversation to kind of conclude the show of just what he thought about the team, their maturity, and how they've just gotten better, and trying to put it all together, man. And I mean, he did it, so that's why I went this exclusive. It was just how he was able to do it, because a lot of people counted him out, but he was still able to give that full effort, still able to get them to play at a high level, and they got some special players now with state championship experience. And a moment they're never going to forget, man. They beat a really good Walton team, really elite Walton team, and just to be able to do that, shout out to Coach Reeves yet again as I conclude the show for today. That's all I got. Stay tuned for Craig's show tomorrow at noon. Drive for the GHSA state title. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Shout out to James Clemens, receiver Doughty, and also Commerce running back Jaiden Daniels. Very, very special players. Enjoy breaking down that tape. That's all I got. You guys can see me again on Tuesday with Craig as we host our Underrated and Overlooked. And if you want to be featured on Underrated and Overlooked, make sure you send us that tape. We do it every single week. We're going to keep it going, even with football season being done. It's predominantly a football show. We're going to look at tape every single week. So send that tape in, man. We'd love to give you a shout-out and look at that film together on the show. But that's all I got. Have a great weekend. Happy Friday Eve, and we'll see you soon. Peace.
All the even seeds, it seemed like.
Only one that did. Well, no, you're right. Coin toss, no, you're right. Because I wouldn't count for. I was gonna say Parkview, but Parkview was a 4 seed.
Yeah, no,